for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good evening, guys, and welcome back to The Vision, formerly known as Court Vision, but changed to The Vision now. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and 96.1 Allen. This is Killian and Vito. Welcome back.
Welcome. So, Killian, would you like to explain to the viewers why we have changed from the Court Vision to The Vision?
Yeah. So, recently decided to stop playing basketball. Still involved, though. Still commentating, but I've decided to switch the track for now, for my next 3 semesters, I guess now. Just some things just thought it would be better for me, schedule-wise and stuff. I've got a lot of opportunities coming up with an internship and stuff, so just fit better in my schedule and, just felt right for me right now. So
you want to tell the viewers what event you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm currently high jumping, and when outdoor season starts, I'll throw javelin as well. Yeah.
What's your experience with those?
Limited. I've done it a little bit in middle school, but honestly, I don't know. I just went to them and was like, hey, I'm just looking to try something new. And they gave me these 2 events and said, look, we'll see what you can do with these. And yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. I've been working a lot on high jump technique, a lot on steps and like arching over the bar and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's been fun.
I will say this, you look like a high jumper.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty athletic in general, so pretty sure I could do anything, most things. But no, it's been fun.
Do you have a record for high jump so far, or something you're striving for? Or are you just like kind of picking up?
Yeah, so I don't have spikes at the moment, so it means I can't jump. Mm-hmm. I can't do a full approach, but I can do a 6-step approach, and with that, I've been able to scissor about 6 foot. So It's looking good so far. Most of the other guys that I'm jumping with, they're clearing about 6'8", 6'9", some of them 6'10". So that's definitely a goal for me. But honestly, look, it's something new, something fun. So we'll just take it as it is, and we'll have fun with it. So yeah,
pretty good start. You can get over 6 foot.
Very good start.
Just kind of picking it up. So
yeah, just picking it up. A lot of it as well is just technique. There's a lot of technique stuff that it looks smooth when I look at other people because they've just been doing it for so long, and I'm trying to do it, and I don't know. It's taken a while to get all that, but
so what is kind of the excitement for track then? What are you really looking forward to, since it is something kind of new for you?
Yeah, it's just new. It's a new personal challenge, and it's more of like obviously it's an individual sport, so you're just competing against yourself. So it's just trying to get better every day. When I finally do jump and see what height I can actually jump, it's just getting higher and higher and higher. So
do they recruit you, or did you kind of go up to them because they have a good track program?
Yeah, it was kind of a mutual thing. I know Zach. You know Zach Fire. He spoke to me over Christmas, and told me, look, if I wanted to join, all I had to do was just text his dad and go talk to him. So that's what I did, and then we just went from there. So yeah. Also been really enjoying commentating recently. So that's something that I've kind of found a love for and really enjoyed. Just got done with the women's game tonight, actually. Yeah.
Is that your first time calling a game, or have you done it before?
So I actually got a random text. The person that was commentating before, they were trying to commentate a high school tournament, and they were struggling with their voice.
Ooh.
They had a cold. So they just put out like a text message on Snapchat, just on their story, like, hey, if anybody's free and wants to help out. So I text back and did 3 games that first day, came back, did another 4 the second day. And then I think I've done maybe 5 or 6.
Oh, so you've been doing a lot of games lately.
I've just been doing it.
Brandon, have you had a chance to listen to?
No, because I'm usually down on the court. But he did get to commentate one of our craziest games that at least I've been a part of.
Okay, let me pull up the Doane schedule, and then let's break this down. Which game?
Okay, it was against Briarcliff. It was pretty recent.
4 overtimes.
Oh,
yeah.
That was did you guys win?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's a lot of OTs.
A whole nother half of basketball played.
Played 3 halves of basketball. It was wild.
And if you look at the box score, you could see like, what's his name? They're one dude, Briarcliff. That's 55.
Ooh. Stillwell.
Yeah. Stillwell played like 60 minutes. Cooper Sheldon played like 59 minutes.
Yeah. Brady played
like 55 at least.
Brady, how much did Brady have that game?
I think he had like 40.
40, yeah.
41
40, 41.
Yeah, 41. That's his record as well. His record before that was 36.
Yeah.
I would say the 4 overtimes, 5 assists. Come on, Brady. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Brady getting the dub.
He was
41 points. It was in the first half. Briarcliff scores 30, Doane 28. Second half, they score 31, Doane 33. Yeah. First overtime, 12-12. Second OT, 9-9. Third overtime, 8-8. Fourth overtime, enough is enough, and Doane wins by 3.
Yeah.
You can tell the legs were falling out because the point total just got lower and lower.
Well, they had a fast break in the third overtime, and this guy smoked this wide open layup
at the buzzer.
At the buzzer as well. I was literally up in the box commentating. I was like, I saw the pass go, and I was like, that's game over. Then he smoked it.
Yeah.
But no, that was a long night. Even still before the girls' game, they had 61 fouls.
It was 61 fouls. How long did that game take?
It was nuts. They had loads of people fouling out.
I was going to say, could they finish the game? 61 fouls. There's only how many players are on the roster? That's a lot of fouls to be handed.
That was
out.
a lot of fouls.
Our game started around like 4. It ended at like 7:15, 7:30.
And the girls started at like 2:30.
Yeah. How upset were the coaches? Because I don't care if the calls are going your way. 61 calls.
I mean, they were going both ways, to be fair, but
no one wants to watch
it was a high pressure game. The other team were pressing a lot, and our girls would just grab the ball and rip through contact, and the refs were just calling everything. Like any kind of contact on a rip through, or like if they went to grab the ball and they got arm, it was instantly called.
Let me ask you guys this, because Killian, you're still in love with the basketball world. You've been commenting on games. Brandon, obviously being part of a team. When it comes to refs in basketball, do you worry that we're catering a little bit too much to the offense, because if you actually look at the rules that are coming out, the rules are trying to limit what the offense is doing, but as players get better, it still kind of feels like the refs are catering a little bit towards it, despite the rules being what they are. And they're actually all kind of trying to help the defense out a little more, but we can't seem to get a good proper fit on it.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder because they just came out with a rule this year with the charges.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah,
That's
like
ridiculous.
you have to be there for like 5 seconds at least.
Pretty much have to be
like,
set before they cross.
Yeah,
half
a
court.
whole minute before they even get there, and you know that just screws over so many defenders.
It does.
Like especially when there's like guys that just put their heads down and just drive at
crash
100
into you.
miles per hour. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, we had a couple calls today in the girls' game. They had like 2 charges in a row, and as well something that's weird. It was weird coming from Europe to the States. You guys don't have that the pickup rule. Like if you get slapped in your motion on a layup, like you can still take your steps and finish.
Yeah,
it'll still be an M1.
Yep.
But here it's like you would literally have to be just shooting the ball, which is kind of.
I kind of like that one a little more. It's tough because it goes both ways, right? Because there's certain times where it's like they force the gather step to get the N1.
Yeah.
And it's like you were looking to pass that one off, and that's where in Europe rules it's nice because you don't get this stupid, I'm going to flick it up last moment. Now I'm on the line. Like you had no faith in that shot going in, but I mean, Brandon watching the NBA and both of you guys, even in Europe, probably don't see it as much in Europe, but that last second, try to flip it up. It's ugly to watch.
Yeah, it is. Especially when they're just looking for contact, just flying to people.
I do worry about that with the NBA. They got to get a hold on that somehow. It's just not fun basketball to watch.
They've also really been really strict with people landing in, people jumping into people's landing space as well, especially on 3-point shooters.
That one I'm okay with.
Yeah, they've been hard on that. In the
dumb way to
G-Pack.
roll ankle.
Yeah, it is.
What are some of the rules that you think they could be adjusted or tweaked when it comes to your guys' collegiate level right now? I'm always a little iffy on the hand checking. I almost feel like defenders should be allowed to hand check a little more.
I think so.
It's so impossible sometimes to play if they got a really good skilled point guard with good ball handles. Like that's why the NBA, it's so out of control.
Yeah.
If you can't put any hands up at all, a little hand check, good luck trying to get in front of anyone.
I mean, you can only chest someone off for so long.
Exactly.
It hurts as well, especially if people are going at you. But yeah, I mean, if it's not, as long as it's not like a shove or like a push, I reckon you should be able to keep contact.
I think so too.
Yeah. That was one of the biggest things for me. High school, I could get away with hand checking.
Oh yeah,
and I'd always do it. But now, like when I came to college, I like my first JV game. Every hand check I put out was a foul, and I was like, "Well, I can't really do much here."
Yeah, there's the hand check. They will catch you on that instantly. If they're not calling it in high school, as soon as you get to that college level, it's going to happen every time. But I still feel like there should be a little more leeway.
Yeah.
Like if you kind of got like it's sometimes it's even if they're just bringing up their arm and they're not trying to arm bar, but just the natural position, they'll still call a hand check on that. And to me, it's like that's just a guy trying to fight to the same spot as the offensive player. Was that the hardest role for you to adjust to? Was the hand check?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Most definitely. Because at least for me, I'm definitely a stronger offensive player than defense. Never enjoyed defense in high school at all. Always got matched up on their worst offensive player just so I can focus on the offensive side.
Hey,
so,
you can guard when you want to.
When I want to, yeah.
Keywords.
Effort.
Yeah, all it takes is some effort, but it's hard. It was definitely hard trying to adjust to that.
What was the hardest rule for you to adjust to coming from Europe to the American side? It might have been the gather step because that is probably weird to kind of understand when you're so used to it. Like you're seeing guys line up for an and one, and you're like, that was way after the whistle.
Yeah, that was weird to get used to.
You guys kind of got some of the rim rules because you guys can play the ball as soon as it hits the
tip
rim.
it off the rim. I was about to say that as well. Not that that's.
It's probably more so when you get to the 7-footers, like pro leagues, where you got so many high risers that as soon as it's on the rim, it's going to be a rebound or they're putting it back in.
Yeah. You guys have longer shot clocks. We play 24 seconds. You guys play 30, and it's weird in high school. Some of you guys don't like some of the high school
C2
states
still doesn't. Where I'm from, we still don't got a shot clock.
Yeah.
They implement it into Class B here in Nebraska. So Class B has a shot clock. I think everything from Class B up on down still doesn't have it. They're in the process of trying to get it figured out, but it's just kind of like money. You got to have people to operate it. It's just kind of setting up the framework for it. But that is a weird one.
There is another weird one. We play quarters. You guys play halves, which is kind of like we play halves in the collegiate level.
Okay, yeah.
Also the 5 fouls and then the 1-on-1. We don't do that. It's just 5 fouls and then you shoot 2.
I want someone to explain that to me too. 402-464-5685. Go for it. Why do girls here in the U.S. play quarters? Guys play halves.
It is weird. And they only play 8-minute quarters too.
Yeah. Sometimes I think we make these differences between these sexes so pointless. Do the girls really need a ball that's 1 ounce lighter? Or is it even half? Isn't it like half an ounce? I don't even think
it's lighter. I know that.
Slightly smaller. I know that.
It is smaller. Yeah.
It's smaller, but I'm like, I see some of these girl shooters and I'm like, would they really struggle that much if they have another? It's an ounce.
I mean, you see Caitlin Clark pulling up from 50 feet out. Just
doesn't really matter. And if we're being real here, it's not like they need the smaller balls so they can palm it and go up there and dunk it. Like that's not happening anyways.
It's happening a little bit more, but like even then, like
if they're doing that, they can probably just 2-hand throw.
Yeah, I mean, if they can dunk anyways, they can dunk.
I've never understood that. Like the quarters thing for the girls, the ball thing I kind of get because that just kind of happens. But why the girls play quarters and the guys play halves is a weird one for me.
I never got that.
See if we got something from the text line here. Let's see. Okay, did you know women couldn't pass half court until like 1985? They played 6-on-6, 3 on each side.
Whoa.
Insane. My dad told me about it. Unknown texter 8086. We might have to do some history on that.
That's cool. Huh. That's an interesting concept.
That sounds like
it seems
like that
we
netball. that netball sport.
Yeah, that does sound like netball. Actually.
Yeah.
Although there's more players.
1985. So women couldn't pass the half court and they played 6-on-6, 3 on each side. We got to look that up to double check. Don't that unknown texter. He's also saying that's from his dad. So
okay,
that would be a wild way of playing basketball.
That's crazy.
Could you imagine?
No, I couldn't.
But like, you could guard people. Like
that's like a drill you do in practice.
Yeah. That
where
sounds
like
a drill.
you just rotate defense on one side, and if you get the stop, you go on the other side.
Yeah.
But then you're crossing the half court line.
But then you have to pass the ball to someone. So
that's wild.
That is.
We're going to dive into that. We're going to throw the break here on the Doane Athlete Project. Because if that's true, he doubles down. It's real. You only play either defense or offense. So we're going to look that up.
You can only play one or the other.
Get a history lesson from 1985 girls basketball. Shout out to unknown texter 8086. But we're going to dive into that, talk about a little bit on the other side here. Don't go anywhere. We got the Doane Athlete Project. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Letting your children know you believe in them will go a long way toward making their dreams a reality. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's important to celebrate learning. Focus on the positives, reinforce good effort and determination. Children need your encouragement and support. Our public schools want every student to succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
Their age?
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, guys, to The Vision with Killian and Vito. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and 96.1 Aloe. Welcome back.
Yep, and shout out to the text line as we got another one here kind of confirming. So when we're talking about this girls' rule, how it used to be different, shout out to Cameron for pointing it out. This was an Iowa thing. Okay, so this actually wasn't across the U.S. This is very Iowa-centric. Girls basketball was different from boys. The girls played a type of half-court game with 3 forwards, 3 guards on each side who could not cross the center line. It could only have 2 dribbles and had 3 seconds to pass or shoot the ball, while boys and girls played 5-on-5, full court basketball around the country. The 6-on-6 girls game dominated high school sports in Iowa. They had the marketed corner. Wow. So that's a very Iowa-centric thing, but for whatever reason, it worked really well in Iowa. So they would play this, kind of talked about a little bit like netball almost.
Yeah, a little bit like netball.
But that's very bizarre. I mean, you get 2 dribbles and 3 seconds to
I was
pass.
going to say, that's wild. That's quick.
That's hard to teach
That's very quick.
A drill in basketball. Even just practice a drill where it's like you got 2 seconds to pass the ball.
But you don't even have any move. You don't even have any room for like a crossover, any kind of dribble move.
You get one.
And what, it was 1980s? That was not long ago.
1985.
Yeah. that's
right before the NCAA really got going.
Yeah, that's when Michael Jordan was drafted.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's weird though. Again, we kind of talk about this. Like, I guess part of that was just kind of the working class between the dude. Like, it was a little different between guys and girls and like the hours of work. So maybe that kind of makes sense. But again, I think that's why we have so many of these weird arbitrary rules that kind of creep in the way. Like why guys play a half and girls play 4 quarters just to be different. Like there's no reason for it. I think the same thing about the basketball. I don't know how many high school girls would really care if you gave them a men's ball. I think they'd get used to it in about a day.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Like it just, to me, it's always small things like that. One unknown texter 6062 just pointing out again, it was Iowa high school girls basketball played 3-on-3 each half of the gym. So 3 girls played defense the whole time, and the 3 girls played off on offense that whole time. It was not the case in Nebraska, and again, not the case pretty much anywhere else in the U.S. So just a very Iowa thing. What are some of those weird games that you guys think that should come to the U.S.? We kind of talked about netball.
Netball should definitely. Hold on. While we're on the thing of rules as well,
go for it.
The girls have recently stepped back from the 3-point line. Their 3-point line was closer a couple of years ago. They've recently come back to the men's line.
See, that's a weird one too.
That's another weird one. Well, just while we're on the topic, but sports that should come here. Netball definitely. I reckon rugby would really take off here.
That's what I always hear. I hear rugby a lot, but it just feels like okay. Shout out. It was the case in Texas as well. So again, kind of back to the girls basketball. So this thing was kind of weird at that point in time where you had a true just 3 on offense, 3 on defense. And I guess it was the case in Texas. Certainly was in Iowa. That's where you're getting most of the stories. But yeah, just a weird era. 85. Who would have thought? Girls basketball was playing a completely different game, at least in certain states. But yeah, I think rugby would be a good one. Man, this must be a well-known fact as we got Jordan P. I know girls ball in Oklahoma played 6-on-6. But it was more like 3-on-3 because you couldn't cross the line. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how far the 6-on-6 thing, because what I was reading, it sounded like it's just Iowa, and now we're getting Texas, and now we're getting Oklahoma.
I wonder if they had different rules as well.
I'm sure it's like the game pitch or euchre. Yeah. For anyone who played pitch or euchre, you go to a different town, you're going to have different rules. And yeah, Jordan B, it was the 80s. So the 80s, kind of a weird time. Again, kind of right before the NCAA really gets kind of that solidation to essentially run college sports, give it some sort of foundation. But yeah, 80s, I guess, was a weird time to be a girl basketball player. Depending on where you played, you'd be playing 5-on-5 normal basketball or 3-on-3 a version of netball.
Imagine moving states and going from 5-on-5 to 3-on-3.
Having to adjust someone's rules.
You have to play defense the whole time now.
That would be kind of fun though. I think if I was on like a 3v3, it sucked though. If you get put on the defensive side, that's not fun at all.
No, because you're
playing defense all game.
Potentially getting scored on the whole game. Yeah, it could be frustrating. Well, that's why I like 5-on-5 though, because you can get frustrated on defense and then go get one back on offense. And I like that because you can fight with people.
Yeah.
But if you're just on defense the whole time, you're just getting scored on. So
yeah, especially if you get posterized on defense, you have nothing. You can't get them back.
Well, you could block them next time, but I mean,
you might not want to meet him at the rim if you got posterized. You might shy away the second time around. And then you got all game back there too. You call for help. You only got 2 other guys to help you out.
Yeah, that would suck if there's a big size difference as well.
Do you guys like the 3-on-3 in the Olympics when they do bring that out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It feels a bit harder to tell who's actually going to win it because one guy can just get hot in a moment's notice. And it's 3-on-3.
I know Jimmer Fredette has some success with the USA team. It's good to see him there. But
he went straight to play for Japan or China right after.
Who is?
Fredette, Jimmer.
Oh,
because he had a rough stint. Didn't go too well.
I know he's in Asia.
Yeah,
and it's either China or Japan.
Yeah.
I
want to say he played for. Might have been the Shane. I'd have to look it up, but I know he's had a good tenure there. But yeah, speaking of which, that 3-on-3, he balled out. He just did overall really well playing in Asia.
Yeah,
that was kind of his run. Who are some of those other great players that we lost that were on the rise to be something really great? Jimmer Fredette. I mean, he had a song after him.
Yeah,
for a while, people were going crazy for Jimmer.
Want to talk about songs? Mo Bamba. He was supposed to be something huge. And
yeah, he was.
Now I don't even know where he's at anymore.
Where are we at on Bobo?
Bobo?
Yeah. So you can never reach.
He's got potential.
He's got potential, but it just feels like he's stuck there.
It does. He needs to develop his body more, I think.
I think he just needs to be given more of a chance.
He's mobile too, but I don't know. What about Wembanyama? He's still doing his thing.
It was the Shanghai Sharks. Nice. Shout out to Jordan P. And he says Marbury is a god over there. And I have seen some clips. It is kind of fun to see those guys. Dwight Howard balling it up. He was balling up. I think it was for the Philippines. Was that the team?
Yeah.
Or it was another Asian team, I want to say.
I actually saw something crazy the other day. Do you remember Kyrie Walker?
Kyrie Walker, yeah.
He was big in high school.
That he was like the best 8th grader in the nation, one of the best high schoolers in the nation. So I'm Mongolian, and I follow around with like the Professional Mongolian Basketball Association. And I just learned that he signed a contract to go play in Mongolia. Way. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Absolutely nuts.
He signed a contract playing Mongolia?
Yeah, he's in Mongolia now.
Where did he go though? He disappeared for a couple.
He was in the G League for a little bit.
Was he?
Yeah. And then he went to Canada, and now he's in Mongolia. So
it is crazy. You lose track of some of these players.
Yeah.
Especially when they're claimed to be great early on. I'm trying to think of another one here. There was another guy who never mind. I'm thinking of Charlie Ward. He ended up playing for the Knicks, but he had an option to go to Florida State, but no one drafted him. He's got a whole new, he could have done MLB, NBA, and NFL. He had the weird thing where he was too good at all of them, and he never picked one. So he would have played NFL, but no one drafted him because they thought he was too focused on the NBA. He plays for the Knicks, has like an okay average career. I think it was like 11, 12 years, something at that, but yeah, just another guy that was supposed to be one of the best of the absolute best and didn't quite reach that potential. Which is just a real bummer. I think it would have been good for going into the NFL because he would have played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Which would have been a good run for him. But other than that, I can't think of any other players that we've really lost through history. I'm sure there's some
more recently, probably Monty Bates.
Yeah, that's a good one. Monty Bates.
He was big, and then he still did good in college, just not what people were expecting.
Yeah. What do you think about guys like I'm blanking on his name. Timmy Gonzaga. Those centers that drew Timmy that really, really good in college.
Yeah.
But the NBA wants nothing to do with them.
Yeah. Or like Zach Edey or Luka Garza.
Zach Edey's moved up to an actual prospect first round draft pick.
I have seen that, but
it took a while.
It took a while. It took a little bit, but you can't teach 7-4.
No. Especially in mobile 7-4.
Yeah. And
that's the thing about the NBA, though. There's a lot of bigs. So,
and you can get them a dime. You can really get them cheap. Is I think where the problem's at.
Yeah, and they're more athletic. So if you're not really like an athletic big,
it's tough.
You're gonna struggle a little bit.
But Luke Garza's been turning it around in the G League. He's been really nice. Good. He seemed like he was going to be a bust. Killian, I don't know. You've ever seen Luke Garza play? Probably not. He used to play for Iowa. Was a really, really good center. Did he win the Woodman Award?
I have no idea.
He might have won the Woodman Award. I think Frank Kaminsky would have been the last Big Ten player to actually win it. But I think Luke Garza might have gotten it as well. But he just balled out, was really good for Iowa, goes to the Detroit Pistons, drafted, is not good, rough start. And now he's at the G League. And I think it has like 5 games in the G League. At one point, he was averaging like something over 32, 33 points. Shout out to Luke Garza. He's another big that got forgotten. But I think he'll actually make a comeback. But it just feels like we're in an era where if you're not, like you said, that athletic, Joel Embiid, kind of big, you're good luck.
Yeah.
And it kind of also feels like you kind of have to ride your hype throughout the whole way. Like if you don't, like if you drop off at any point, people are going to forget about you.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're big in high school, if you don't keep doing stuff throughout college and even through like your whole high school career, people are going to forget about you pretty quickly. So
we were kind of talking about this before we came in here because the USC game just came on with Bronny.
Yeah.
And how much pressure. We were like thinking about how much pressure that dude has on him every game.
I'll say this much about LeBron. Didn't help your son out by naming him Bronny. I do kind of laugh when he talks about wanting to have a normal lifestyle. And I'm like, that's why you named your kid Bronny? So you could live that normal? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with LeBron. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan for all you listening. It's mainly because I'm a Kobe guy down in the DNA. So we got that friendly love-hate relationship. But yeah, when you're going through the NBA, you do wonder what it's like for the bigs, but they are making a bit of a resurgence, especially guys with Jokic. Do you think that kind of has to be the future model? Obviously, to that level is extreme, but do you think if you want to be drafted as an actual lottery pick in the NBA as a center, you need to kind of be that point center?
I mean, the way Jokic plays is so unorthodox, though. Like his style of basketball and the way he moves on the court, it's weird.
It is.
It almost looks like it shouldn't work, but it just does. So I don't know. I think
it's a bit Dirk-esque, not in terms of the shooting, but just it looks too clumsy for it to be that smooth.
Yeah. But I mean, Jokic has got some great court vision. His passing ability is amazing. And I think that's really key
Yeah.
to be a big in the NBA. You can't hit a wide open shooter coming off a screen or guys backdooring or cutting. Like, there's no hope.
Yeah, because especially now, like, there's that notion that like big men are dumb. They're not the smart players on the floor.
Like
they're
can't
just
pass
out there.
or
Yeah,
whatever. They're just tall. But,
yeah, but the game's evolving, and Jokic is leading the way with that. Some of the passes I see him make are insane.
I'm telling you, you got to get the fives. Let them be better playmakers because they're used to those outlet passes. I remember Steven Adams. This might have been 2 seasons ago. Absolute dime to SGA on a buzzer beater, full court pass.
Yeah,
give it to the big man. They know how to do those outlet passes.
They're strong. They're big.
They're big, strong.
Throw it there quick,
really good at the outlet. I mean, that's what they do their whole lives. They get the board, turn around, kick it up the court. So it's one of those things. And again, I think that's why when you talk about youth basketball, you always do a discredit to centers when you just shove them in the paint. Killian, did you ever experience that when you first got into basketball? Did they just put you on the block and you didn't work on ball handling, you didn't work on shooting, just post moves?
Yeah,
criminal. That's a criminal offense to me.
Well, I kind of knew that if I wanted to play basketball, I kind of had to know how to dribble and shoot. So in a way, I didn't really listen to a lot of coaches growing up, and like if the guards were doing stuff and I was done, I'd just hop in with them.
So that just really bothers me though, but as a player, you had to recognize that.
Oh yeah,
and that's ridiculous that you had to be the one to recognize that.
As a player as well, especially when I was younger, if I shot a 3, especially if I missed, I was coming straight out, and that's not good. Especially when you're like 14, 15, 16, like just developing. You got to let kids shoot that shot. You got to let them make the mistakes, and you got to let kids develop too. Like if you look at Giannis, like his coach when he was younger forced him to play point guard. And they lost for like an entire season. And then, look at what Giannis is now.
Yeah, it just kind of drives me insane. Like there's times where if you got the tall kid, it's good. Probably, let him enter it. He can get some mismatches there and let him get some work in it. That doesn't mean he's not playing the center and everyone has to be positionless, but have an offense where you can let what we see with Rink Mast, if it's there, attack. Like I really hate those. You see it a lot more in youth where they really just peg a kid into playing that center role.
Yeah.
And then they get so locked in on that, all their other skills just kind of fall behind.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then if they don't hit that growth spurt, you just you got a 6-foot center, and that's the only skill set he's got.
Exactly. So,
got to be careful with it. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and throw the break here. This is the Doane Athlete Project. We got Killian and Brandon to my left. The host as always. What's the new? What are we calling this one now?
The Vision.
The Vision. I like it. All right. So the Vision with Brandon and Killian. One more segment up next. Don't go anywhere.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I used to be a weight guy. I used to love weight.
You've never been a weight guy.
That's a lie.
Let me tell you something.
You've never been a weight guy.
I was in a 300-pound club
No,
in
sir.
high school.
Yes.
No, sir. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That 315 pounds would have sent him through he'd have been 6 feet under trying to figure out how to get up out that hole. That's how
You ain't never been nowhere near that platform to get up there for Lifter of the Year.
I don't want to be Lifter of the Year. I
So
want to be
how
the Player of the Year. Who wants to be a Lifter of the Year when you want to be the Player of the Year? Nobody care about weights.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28,
Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run. So like speed option, those things, all you want to do.
Speed, I can't see him.
It's also,
Uh-oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a
Word
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
Too many
Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, guys, to The Vision with Killian and Bito. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and 96.1 Allo. Welcome back.
Yep, and we got just a little bit of time here left. This will be a short segment as we wrap up Ticket Weeknights here on a cold Wednesday night, 1040 O Street. And again, if you guys want to join in, last second thoughts, 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Heyman text line. And I want to ask you guys this. How you been dealing with the cold down there in Doane? Because it's been a nightmare just about everywhere else.
Oh, man.
I will say this. I'll take the first anecdote here. I ripped the car handle off my
did?
door, or the door handle off my car. It was so cold. I just pulled on it and
just this morning, one of our dorm halls, one of the pipes bursted, and everybody in the hall has to evacuate and move to the one hall that I just moved out of because they just built some new dorms that I moved into. That they were going to renovate, and now everybody has to move over there, and they don't know when they're going to be able to get back to their old hall. So
they had a pipe inside that
Yeah,
burst?
The pipe on the 4th floor that burst and then flooded the 3rd and just kept going down.
Must have some bad insulation around that pipe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's an old building.
It
Really
could
old
be someone not closing a window, or it could just be old pipes. Who knows?
Yeah, when it gets to that stuff, I know that when you start getting to those top floors, especially when it's windy, when they start working their way in there, and like you said, old building, who knows if someone had an open window? But even if someone has an open window, you should have enough insulation. But who knows how much that thins out?
It has been cold.
Yeah, and this is kind of borderline pushing it type temperature. Like even these windows here, these are new windows. If it's negative 20, they're not keeping all the cold air out.
No. One of my roommates left their water bottle by the window overnight. The whole thing froze.
I believe it.
I just left it on the window ledge and the whole thing. Woke up in the morning.
No driving accidents though. You guys been good there? No slipping through intersections.
I don't have a car, so
that's right.
Nah,
but no, nothing. Good.
How's Doane this time of year when it gets cold like this? Nebraska's tough because you have to hop in your car, you have to drive around. You get some tunnel walks, or not tunnel walks, kind of wind tunnel walks between buildings. It can be a nightmare. Not like Nebraska is bad for it. They could do anything about it. It's just the location. How's Doane travel when it gets this kind of cold?
Well, the problem is campus is so small that not much parking around. it's close enough to walk, but if it's cold out, you want to drive. So you're just in a little mental battle of whether you'll want to just go and drive to your class that's literally a 2-minute walk away.
That is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I can hop in my cold car. That'll save me from the wind.
Uh-huh.
But it won't get any warmer in there.
No.
I just won't have wind. Or I could just walk a little longer.
Uh-huh.
That is a weird kind of distance.
Yeah, they are pretty good at keeping the paths and stuff pretty clear, but even still can get quite slippy. But that wind, the wind chill,
it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
I can't
tough.
stand the cold. Would
It
you
is
rather
tough.
do extreme cold or extreme heat?
Extreme cold. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
We experienced the extreme heat earlier this year, and I hated it.
Really?
Like I was sweating before when I got to every class.
Yep, you're literally drenched in sweat.
I hated it.
Walking
I'd
through the
rather do
doors.
extreme
Yeah.
cold.
Oh, you guys picked the right state.
Yeah.
We definitely do that well up here in Nebraska.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as that goes, what about traveling? Has that been tough for basketball or just any of your guys' events? I mean, it's been a nightmare for high school sports trying to reorganize everything because you don't want people driving out to games at 9 p.m. if it's, negative 20 degrees, 25 degrees outside.
Yeah, no, our game last weekend against Morningside was supposed to be on a Saturday. The next, the day before, we learned that it has to get postponed because of the snow, because that's when more snow came in, and it
Good,
got
just
moved
top
to
it off.
Sunday. Yeah, I don't travel with the team since I redshirt, but I could imagine it wasn't a fun ride just because of how cold it was.
Yeah, and that's the worst part. I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but there's been a few days, in particular Sunday morning. Sunday was by far the coldest day. And shout out to all our listeners. They still stuck out, listened to some people, and still came up and got some coffee on that freezing Sunday morning. But it was 6 a.m. I just didn't even know if my car was going to turn over. Barely got it to start 'cause it was just that cold. Get there, and I got about 25-minute drive, and I let my car run for about 20 minutes before I left, and another 25 minutes, 20 minutes on the road. So that's 40 minutes. And my car didn't get warm at all. Like the heater would not keep up.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like it was better. Like it wasn't freezing in there, but like as far as heat, I wasn't getting warm.
Still not
Yeah.
toasty warm.
It's the worst feeling. You hop in your car, turn it on, turn the heater all the way up
Mhm.
just to feel wind or AC that's colder than the wind outside.
Yeah.
That stuff sucks.
It was brutal. But what's coming up next for you guys before we get out of here? Killian, what game are you going to call next? So if people want to listen to you, I know they can do that through I know do you guys broadcast the okay.
Yeah,
So
we're
where
on
can they
YouTube.
check that out at?
You would go to Doane Athletics on YouTube.
Doane Athletics on YouTube. And
Yep.
then what's the next game you're going to be calling?
I believe it's Northwestern for the girls and boys on Saturday. I believe the girls tip off at like 3:45.
I think we tip off 3:45. They do 2:30.
2:30. The boys are at 3:45.
Okay, so you can listen to Killian and you can Brandon, is that one home?
Home.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So watch Brandon and listen to Killian. You can do that one. And what was the date for that one? One more time.
This Saturday.
This
So,
Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 2:00, 2:30ish for the boys, and the girls will take place after that one. But that's going to wrap it up here for the Doane Athlete Project. I'm Harrison Arns. That is Killian Brandon to my left. And this is going to wrap up Ticket Weeknights here at 1040 O Street. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for listening.